My name is Christina and I'm a senior residential childcare practitioner in a children's home.
My name is Joe. I am training to be a primary school teacher. I used to be a journalist. I still do parts of that, but not full-time anymore.
My name is Karen and I'm one of the nurses in Sunderland Royal Hospital.
I have been in my current role for nearly 5 years this month, and as a senior, 3 years. So what I love about it, firstly, I love the kids, I love the children, but I love the opportunity to pour into children who've have not had the best start in life, and just to be that safe person for them, to have fun with them and kind of ease off the stresses of like their current situation, really. Well, as a Christian, I believe that beyond my desire to do what I do, I believe that God has put me where He has put me for a reason. I mean, with the people that I work with the children I look after, and also the families I come in contact with. It's a blessing. It's an honor, to be honest, to be able to do everyday life with the kids that I look after. They're fun to look after. But Christian on Mission is just looking beyond. God has me there because He's got work for me. So it's important that I consider how I conduct myself, make sure that I do diligent work, that I'm reflective of Him, and that I work hard. Also, that I be caring. I mean, God tells us to love people, so it's important that I'm loving people around me, the children, the people I'm working with, and also that recognizing that the kids that I look after, they're very vulnerable in so many different levels, but also spiritually. So spiritually, again, standing in the gap, praying for them, and teaching them as well. And so, yeah. How I go about sharing my faith, to be honest, is just being myself and being honest. How I look at it is my faith is not separate, it's part of me. So in just how I live life with the people around me, how I talk, I mean, not swearing, and not joining in things that I shouldn't be joining in. And sharing my faith, again, is just showcasing what's important to me. I mean, it's so easy to talk about the things that you love and what's important to you. And I mean, Christ is important to me, and just being vocal about that I go to church, that I go to Bible studies, and just ensuring that there's that understanding. As important as my job is, God is important. So just constantly sharing around that. And how I share my faith as well is just getting everybody just talking about it. People, once they know you're a Christian, they just want to open up about their upbringing as well. So I think just utilizing that opportunity to just talk about Christ, and also in everyday interactions, how I go about sharing my faith, I think, is again inviting people to see it for themselves. I mean, last time when we had the family event at Barnes Park, I invited the kids, and so the staff members came and they enjoyed it. They really enjoyed it. And recently I had an opportunity where another girl said, I'd love to come to church. I was like, just come. It doesn't have to be complicated. People connect with what's real. So just being like, come, it's fun. I go there all the time. And you've got kids, I teach kids, and we have fun. So just being real with them and not trying to like overcomplicate things. A Bible verse that encourages me is from Proverbs 3 verse 5 through to 6, which says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. So putting it all on Him, putting Him first, and trusting Him in these encounters, and trusting Him that, you know what, I don't have to put pressure on myself. All I can do is just stand in the gap, share, and ensure that, you know what, I'm planting those seeds. I don't have to see it through, but trusting that, you know what, just being present, I am representing him, and so just trust him with that, and he'll see me through.
So I've been in my current role since August, and the thing I love most about it is just the chance to help people, to help young people improve and to be an influence on them. My old job, I was predominantly working from home and didn't feel that was kind of getting the best out of me, so the chance to kind of be with others and to help people improve and to get better, I think is bringing the best out of me, and I think it's where God wants me to be at this time. So being a Christian on mission, someone put it to me like this the other day actually, and it was like Jesus was a teacher, and Jesus was a teacher who inspired so many generations, and the chance to influence others and to have a purpose, I think, is really something that I can do as a teacher. And although I may not be able to directly tell children about Jesus, I can still bring Jesus into the classroom by trying to be a good role model, trying to help people and teach people to do the right things. And I feel that purpose is something that God has kind of put up for me at this stage of my life, and it's something that I want to kind of pursue, and that's where I'm at the minute. And how I go about sharing my faith, just kind of naturally dropping into conversation. A few months back, so I was talking to a friend who knew me before I was a Christian, and we were just talking about, it was about football, and I said, I played football at the weekend with a group from church, and they knew I went to church, but they were like, so do you go to church every week? And I was like, yeah, and then I told them about kind of my testimony and how I came to church and how I believe what I believe. I believe that Jesus died and rose again, and I believe that the evidence suggests that was real and that happened, and then also the impacts that going to church had on my life. And he said, yeah, I can see that it's had a positive impact on you. They'd not had a faith and they'd not been brought up going to church, but they could see yeah, it's had a positive influence on you. And then even just yesterday, so I was covering a football game, I was in the press box, and on my phone the screensaver is the cross. And one of the other reporters there that knows me said, Joe, are you a Christian? And I said, yeah, I am, yeah, I go to church. I said, do you have a faith? And they were like, I'm kind of agnostic, not sure what I believe. And then I was telling them that I went to church and why I believe what I believe in. And they may be little things and it may not lead to anything, but it's kind of just planted that seed, hopefully, that they then want to know more and want to pursue it a little bit more. So it's just kind of dropping it into conversation naturally, really. As I say, even at school, I maybe can't tell kids about Jesus, but I can try and be a good role model to them and try and have a purpose to help them live the right way. So the verse that I always go back to is Proverbs 3:5-6. It's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean on your own understanding, and all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight.
I've just recently moved in my current role, but I started my work as a nurse in 2016, and just recently I've joined the care of the elderly, and it has been quite tough in the beginning, because I'm from theater initially in day case, and then now I've moved to care of the elderly as one of the practitioners, and it's really stretched and grown me in so many ways. But it has been a privilege as well, because I truly believe that God has been with me through my journey, and even in the tough times when I feel weak, when I feel like I'm not going to be able to cope, and adjustments and challenges, it's a good reminder how I could lean on God and just reassure myself that he placed me on the right place where I could grow and I could share his love. As a Christian in workplace, for me, it's more than just a task that I need to complete, but it's infusing God's love into my work. However, it's not always easy There's times where I feel like really way down, that's why I need to like intentionally start my day with a prayer. And as I walk to work, I really listen to worship songs and what have you. It's just really a moment for me to reset, refocus, and make sure that I'm praying that God would use me as a vessel, that I'm not going to be just trusting on my own intentional ways, which are very limited. As a nurse, I approach my faith with sensitivity, respect, and desire to serve my patient needs holistically. I don't need to push my beliefs, but instead focusing on being compassionate presence, trusting that my actions will speak volume. Often it's small caring gestures, listening closely, offering comfort, or just being fully present that I aim to reflect God's love. I believe that by showing empathy, kindness, and patience to my patient could create a safe and comforting space where God's love is evident, even if it's unspoken. And when the moment feels right, and if a patient or colleague opens up about their own struggles or spiritual questions, I take that as an opportunity to gently share how my faith gives me strength. And for an instance, I might mention that prayer helps me stay focused, or even offering to pray for them at times, especially when back in my old work when they are really tense with a procedure. So if they're open for that, I sometimes give out prayer for them, and it's just an opportunity to gently share really how my faith gives me strength through the workplace. There has been a lot of times where I go to work and I feel really weighed down. So I always ask God to give me a little bit of like reminder that He's with me through work and just to really encourage. And I can't really tell you how many times He answered me, and a lot of the times as well it has been through my patients. And I remember one of my patients, she came in the hospital. She was really anxious, you could tell by her face. And she's someone that's really familiar with me because I always see her in our local shop. So I felt led to approach her. So I came, I talked to her, I gave her a little bit of encouragement. I've reassured her that everything should be fine, and really stayed with her a little bit just to make sure that she's fine before going to her procedure. After that, I could tell that she was really encouraged, and she had her procedure and she didn't even need sedation. It was fine all the way through. She thanked me afterwards. We still keep in touch after that, and over time we became friends. I still visit their shop, tell them that I've been to church sometimes, and that one day she asked me, where do I go to church? And that one question led to like really something beautiful, because she started attending church, and now she's really active, and seeing her life transformed and seeing how much she's growing to church makes me really humble and reminds me how God is using us to show and to be a light to other people, and just to direct them to Jesus. And like, you don't really need to speak a lot, because you just by sharing that you are a woman of faith, or like that you've got faith and how you live with Jesus, it inspires others, I think. And yeah, it just keeps me motivated, and I just felt like I'm in the right path at times because of that. Right, so one of the verses that means a lot to me and that I've used as a reminder in many moments is Psalm 59:16. It says, "But I will sing of your strength in the morning. I will sing of your love, for you are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble." This verse has been a lifeline for me, especially when work feels stressful or if I'm going through a tough time. It reminds me that God is my refuge, and that He's strong when I feel weak. His love surrounds me no matter what. He is always with me at work and through every challenge and every blessing. And it's an honor to carry that with me every day, which is a beautiful reminder as well.